Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Quiet Storm with Mr. Q. This is episode 5 of the Wind Down Wednesday. Man, welcome. I definitely appreciate you guys joining me. All the new follows and all the new subscribers, man. Thank you and welcome to a smooth, mellowed out vibe with your boy, Mr. Q. I want to take some time out to recap last week, of course. Had my good friend on, DJ Teflon Don. Man, it was a good chat about manhood, about the things that and the values that we grew up with, and the things that we saw, role models and things like that. It was a good vibe, man. So, shout out to DJ Teflon Don, and thank you for producing my show, sir. Um, um, with that being said, I'll tell you guys what my musical mood has been this week because it's Wednesday, hump day, so we're relaxing a little bit. So, right before the show started, I was listening to some old school Montel Jordan, right? Don't ask me why, but of course I'm an old school guy. But for some reason, the song "Let's Ride" came up in my mental, and I was like, "Let me play that joint real quick." And it was a little bop for me because it took me back to like the old school days when music was really pretty decent. You know what I'm saying? And then it got a little nostalgic because I was listening to Master P and Montel Jordan together, so that was pretty good. Um, Outside of that, I've been listening to like Open Soul. I went back to listen to some more Black, um, and then Baby Rose came out for some reason. So if y'all haven't heard any of those artists, make sure you check them out. Again, the thing about it is, I'm always on the what's happening, Miss Shan, what's going on with you? Who's that? What's up, Slick? What's going on, family? At the end of the day, like seriously, man, my musical vibes are always all over the place. But lately, I've been like in some chill vibe mode. So um, check out some of those artists, man. If you don't like Black, check them out a little bit deeper, right? Um, of course, I'm not giving free promotions anymore, but I definitely want to say that that's my musical vibe for the week. And also, I want to say I do have a vibe killer this week. And it may be a little bit political, right? But I'm going to do it anyway because it's my show. I can do what I want. So the people that says for the mainstream media, if you have watched the news, I don't really watch the news as much, but they use the words just comply. And they try to apply it to situations that if you just comply, you might die in our situation, right? For minorities, right? So I say that because I'm hearing a lot of this just comply coming back up. Like if you'd have just complied, this would have happened. They would have just complied, this would have happened. Stop it. Let's be real. Even if we comply, we could die. Just being honest, 100%, right? I didn't want to kill the vibe, but I just wanted to say that when we're talking about the institution of law enforcement, there are some places where there are good law enforcement agents and there are bad ones. In this particular situation that I'm talking about, they're talking about just comply. It applies to a person that needs to just comply. Just go ahead and say, hey, look, I did all this crime and now I'm going to face the time. So I'm going to get off that note. We're talking about Agent Orange again, of course, but I'm going to get off that note. But man, tonight I have a very special guest, man. This young lady is Baltimore's very own. She's a writer and a speaker, and she does a lot of other things. But I'm going to let her tell her story when she comes on versus me trying to give all her accolades, right? So without further ado, I'm going to introduce my sister, Miss Ambery Bowman. Come on, Jordan. Hey, what's up, Am?
Hello. Hello.
That's a good one. I wasn't expecting that one. Thank you so much.
I was not either.
So, sis, welcome to the show again. All the love is out here for you from the Quiet Storm fam. So we are welcoming you and thank you so much for joining and taking out time on your schedule to join the show.
Thank you.
So, with that being said, you seem like you have a little bit you want to tell us about you. So, why don't you tell them outside of what I just said? Tell them what you do.
So I am a author. I'm a poet, speaker. I host workshops for self-care. Right now, I'm just in my spoken word bag. And just trying to do the Lord's work, just getting my words out. But yeah, I think that sums it up.
Stop trying to be so humble, but okay, I got it. Um, so you're telling me that you are in your spoken word bag at this point, right? So
Hmm.
that means you're setting yourself up to share something that before we get off this air tonight, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna share something. Share
Okay,
something.
okay. I look. I mean, I'm just saying. I can't have you on here without you sharing something for me. So
And of course,
let's do it this way tonight. You mentioned that you're an author. So, like, what made you go down that path to start? So, how did you get into the poetry, and how did you get into the writing and the speaking and the motivation things of that nature? Let's start with those because there's a bunch. So let's just start with those.
yeah. Um, so I feel like I've always been a writer. I wrote my first poem in sixth grade about a boy, about being in love. But since then, I've just been writing poetry since then. Writing is how I know how to communicate from a very young age. That's how I communicate with my mother. When she got mad, she wouldn't talk to me. I would write. So I think from an early age, that's just how I know how to express myself to the fullest capacity. Um, I kind of took a break from like writing, probably like the college era, military era, when I thought I was grown, living my best life. I did not, I didn't come back to writing until I call it the brick wall, where I feel like life like fucked me up.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, so I got inspired by writing by first like getting into books, and I was like going through my little rough patch. And that was the first time I went to therapy. I was just like really down, really bad. So I got into a lot of like self help books, and I had like a little thought of writing a book, and I'm like, well, I'm like struggling, so there's no way I can like write a book to help anybody else when I'm like struggling myself. But so I like just play, let the idea just go down the drain. But the more and more I like did work and I like healed myself, um, the more it came about.
Hmm.
I started a blog back in 2018,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, it's on Medium now. I'm not active on it now, but that's kind of how I got started. There's another platform called Selfish Babe. I
Hmm.
decided to randomly just submit like an article,
Hmm.
and they liked it, and they got like a lot of like views and like comments and stuff. So they invited me to write again, and then eventually they offered me to just come write for them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that lasted for about a year, and once that like ended, it ended so like out of the blue. It was
Hmm.
kind of like, okay, so what's next? So the idea came about with writing the book again, and I couldn't escape signs. I would see signs everywhere, so I felt like it was just God like kept pointing me in a direction. So I got serious, and I sat down and like planned it out, and once I like put like all the poems I had together, I felt like it was maybe like 80% done.
Hmm.
And it just flowed. It flowed into like a story. So I feel like that was God's hands on it, because I didn't feel like it was like work or stress or anything. It just was a smooth process.
Nice.
So that's how the writing and the author came about. I feel like it was just God pushing me to do it. I don't think I had anything to do with that at all, because I didn't think I was capable of doing it. Um, what's next? What's the other question?
All right, so I'm giving you a second to think about what I said outside of that. But little funny story, like so you mentioned that you got into writing at a young age. You wrote a poem about a boy, right?
Hmm.
So when I remember my first time trying to write poetry, right? I think I was in the ninth grade, maybe. That's a long, long, long time ago. But um, we had like a project or something that we had to do, and like they would like write a short story or write a poem or whatever. And I think my first venture into it, I was out there plagiarizing stuff. I think I took something from.
Uh-uh.
Listen. I was trying to be fast and get this grade, But
Mm-hmm.
I won't tell you what I plagiarized, but I did. A little bit, just a little bit of it. And then I started to realize I can actually put the words together myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So from ninth grade on, I've been writing. I have these notebooks, just like kind of just in the basement and boxes, right?
Oh,
And and then I went to college, right? So college years, I thought I was out there, thought I was living my best life, living the out love Jones. I was trying to write poems for every girl that I fell in love with at this point.
uh-uh.
um, so my nickname to three of my best friends, they would call me Darius Lovehall because I would always write these poems and share them with them. They'd be like, "Oh, okay, you all right, bro? You might be all right." But that's a part that most people don't know me. Who don't know the deeper part of me. Know they don't know about that part about me, how I started writing, right? Um, but I think that your love for writing and your passion for communicating through writing is well warranted, and it's probably something that it takes time to develop. So you did that, so that's good. The question that I had at the end of that was like, I guess my problem. I mean, my next train of thought would be, what motivated you to finally, like you said, God had His hands on you for that part to get you to start writing the
Mm-hmm.
book, whatever, right? But like, what actually motivated you to feel like it was time, like 100%? Like, was there an event that took place? Was there something that?
Um, I think I just kept seeing confirmation with like the blogs and stuff. I would have like so many people like reach out to me and just tell me like how much like they needed to hear something, or like just tell me stories about what they're going through and how it like blessed them or like motivated them and that they needed it. So it was overwhelming, but in a good way. Just to receive all of that. And like I said, I just kept seeing little signs like sermons, or like I go to church or somebody will say it, or it'll just pop up on the radio about writing a book. Like I just could, it got to the point where I couldn't ignore it. So I was like, okay, let me go ahead and write this book
Right.
because I ain't got no choice at this point.
um. So, all right, I have another transparent moment. All right, so a friend of mine, she said maybe you should start writing these down and actually start to publish a book, right? Myself. I was like, man, it's never gonna happen. Like, I have all these ideas and these thoughts, and I was like, I'm never gonna do it. And then, quiet, Shannon, quiet. Um, so I put it down, and I just like I had this old laptop. I was typing all these things up. I was typing them up in Word, and I sent a couple of them to her. She was like, "Oh, these are good." Like I was like, "Yeah, I'm trying to do my thing. I thought I was gonna go ahead and just do it." But I guess I lost motivation for it again. Like I just kind of like
Hmm.
fell off, and then I was just like, man, I don't want to have to perform this stuff. Like, so that leads me to my next question. Like you said, you're in your spoken word bag. Like you're telling me that you're out here doing your thing. So I seen it. I seen the live videos, and like I'm gonna ask you this: what type of mindset do you have to be in when you are about to go on stage, like when you're about to perform? How do you get yourself ready for it? Is there a process for you?
Hmm. I don't know if I would say a process, because there has been times where I've been not in a good space and I would still get up and go. But I feel like for me, it's like therapy for me. It's a way for me to release. So I don't know. I don't think I have a process. I just look at it as a way for me to release, for real, for
Okay.
real, if I'm being honest. But
I would
I don't know.
expect
It's
you.
expecting.
I would definitely expect you to be honest though, because one, that's the only way you can get your words out, right? Like you have to,
Yeah,
if even if you're in a bad mood. So you're saying that it doesn't hinder you when you're in a bad mood, right?
yeah. No, it helps actually.
Hmm. Okay. So, um, the very first time that you did it, though, what do you remember about the time that you like was on stage? Do you remember anything? Like, was there was it just like you had to focus on something in the crowd, or how did you feel about it?
It was just last year. I haven't been doing it long. It was nerve-wracking. It was a small place, small like a group of people. but my nerves were like a mess. Like I'm not. I've always been like afraid of like public speaking and no, like that. I'm not that type of person. So it was hard. I think I did good for me doing it my first time, but it
Hmm.
was like extremely nerve wracking. Like very uncomfortable.
Mm. Okay. Um, I think I always used to go to the poetry slams and stuff like that on campus back when I was at Norfolk State. You know, HBCUs represent, of course. Uh, but we used to have this little station that was all the way at the back of campus. It was like there was a radio station in there, but there was also like a little venue where you could actually perform, right?
Hmm.
And every night I would go in there and listen. It would be every Wednesday night actually. So like this is how it comes full circle for me. So me doing this show takes me back to my college days when we used to have spoken word on Wednesdays, right? Um,
Hmm.
and I remember this one poet getting up there, and I mean, like she was powerful. Like she was a little bitty thing, but her voice was just powerful. And I was like, yeah, I'm not getting up there reading my shit. Her voice just like that. I'm not. I'm this is not for me. like, um, but like real talk, man. I definitely would say that the first time that I experienced spoken word in its entirety, like just going out for a vibe. And this is before I was, out here drinking and stuff. So I was actually just listening to the words. I actually absorbed everything.
Hmm.
I wasn't just sitting there like, yeah, that sounds good, but whatever. Um, but those are my fondest memories, man. Like, so I would say that you probably hold that very, very dear to your heart, even though it was a small venue. You probably feel like that was a milestone for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
so when we talk about venues and stuff like that, what's your favorite venue that you've been to so far to even witness it, up close and personal, or even perform it? Like, what's your favorite venue?
Voices and Power in Philly, hands down,
Mm,
top top one.
okay, okay. So do you meet a lot of interesting people when you go to Philly?
Yes, I feel like I love DMV area too, but Philly is just a whole different like vibe. The energy is unmatched. The love you get is unmatched. They're just on a whole different level. So I love love Philly and Voices and Power.
Okay.
Haven't experienced anything like that in Maryland or DMV ever.
So now what you're telling me is that we have to get together and make this thing happen for the DMV area, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong though. It's a lot of like nice spots. You get a lot of love, but it's just something about Philly. It's different.
Yeah, I think it's
Different.
being outside of your home area is what it is,
Yeah, I
because
think so too.
these people don't know you from Adam or Eve at this
Hmm.
point, right? So, like, you really get into the point where you are able to be free, and even if you mess up, they will never know because they don't know how you flow,
Yeah.
your style. So, switching gears, you said that you have a you have another company that you do, right? What was it? What was the second company that you have?
So
Is that
what?
you have a company that you have, right? Or
Oh,
something?
the woman I'm becoming.
Yes, that's that one. The woman I'm becoming. That one. Tell us about that.
So that's like my brand, my baby. That's kind of where I got the title of my book from, The Woman I'm Becoming. Um, it blossomed from me just writing a poem on Women's Day, maybe like 2019, just randomly.
Hmm.
And I circled back to that years later,
Hmm.
just randomly thinking about like I was feeling a little empty and incomplete, and I just wanted to do something. So the title, "The Woman I'm Becoming," popped in my head. I typed it in my phone notes, and that poem showed up. And I thought about it, and I started doing T-shirts with like lines from the poem.
Hmm.
And from the T-shirts, the brand started, the LLC started, the book happened. So it's just a brand that I'm trying to promote for women to just promote self-love and putting ourselves first. I've done some self-care workshops that's centered around soul care
Nice.
and just becoming like the best version of yourself and having the goal of evolving to be number one.
I like it. So, I've had a few powerful women on this show, and you're kind of ranking up there with them. So now I see that there are vision boards behind you, right? So,
Yes.
like, how do you see like 2022 ending for you, fourth quarter? Because, like you said, you're in your bag and you're a year in, and it seems like you're doing really good stuff. Yes, of course,
Yes.
Shan. Philly is where it's at, man. Philly is the neo soul capital. So if you want to get a neo soul vibe, Philly has always had that vibe, and it's always underground. Like it's one of those joints where if you want to find some of the best artists that are untapped, that's where you go.
Mhm.
So I will agree with you 100% there. I've experienced a couple of places out there, just kind of even just walking down the street sometimes, like the street corner ports are good. Like I'm like, damn, like
Mhm.
this is one of those places. Like it ain't like you sitting on the corner and it's like rough. I mean, it's a rough place in certain places, but certain places have good like outside spoken word, poets. So yeah, Philly's a vibe. So I didn't mean to cut you off, but 2022 fourth quarter. We're going into the fourth quarter, heading into 2023. I don't know where the rest of the year went, so I definitely wanted to know, like, how do you see yourself ended out the last quarter of the year? What's on your agenda?
I honestly, I'm just going with the flow.
Hmm?
And that has been working out for me this year. I did start my second book, so that's like one of my like top goals is to just really like really dive in and make more time for it.
Hmm.
But I'm just going with the flow. I really feel like I don't have like set goals. Everything has just been coming to me like so organically. And I think that's because I'm trying to stay in tune with what God, is leading me to do and not trying to jump on so much at one time. But
Yeah,
I'm just going, I'm just flowing.
and I think that's the one thing we find ourselves as creative people. We find ourselves taking on too many things at once,
Too
right?
much. Yeah.
So like when I first had this pitch for the podcast myself, right? I'll give you second book on the way. Yep. What's up, Slick? Slick here for the second book. They here for it. So like literally, man, like I'll never forget, man. I was sitting in the car, like I don't know what I was doing that night, but I kept writing up these ideas because I was like, man, I miss being on the air. I miss being able to get my voice out. I miss the outlet. So like this is an outlet for me, just like writing for most people is an outlet. The podcast served that purpose for me because corporate Q is different than Mr. Q that you see right now, right? So I get to be a little bit more free and liberal with the words that I say.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking back at my notes. I was like, man, I had this brainchild like in 2017. I was like, I kept writing like different things. So the first idea was going to be called Poetic Soul. I was like, all right, I like the way that sounds because poetic neo soul together. And then I saw that pop up somewhere else, and I was like, damn, somebody got the name already.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, what can I call this? I was like, because I know Quiet Storm is a universal term for some things, like especially music wise, and so like it's kind of encompassing everything for me because it's like, quietly I'm working on these things, so the Quiet Storm was perfect. And then the logo is a brainchild of some artists, but the letters themselves is what my nickname is. So like Q Smooth is what they used to call me. So that's where my QS came
Okay,
from.
people.
um, and so it was just kind of like, okay, this is perfect. It fits. So, but the Mr. Q is the more mature version of myself at this point. And, um, I think it's just one of those things, man, the energy there is okay. Shannon, I'm sorry. The energy there is dope. And Nicole, hello, Nicole. Thank you for joining. And Slick again, and my producer, Shannon, and whoever else is listening. I'm just telling the story of how I got here. 2017 was the year. Again, I was sitting there, again, coming with these ideas, and I kept talking about it. And I was like, man, this is not going to happen. And then fast forward 2020, the pandemic hits, right?
Mm.
And I'm talking to my partner, like my business partner. He's like, "Man, we should do it." I'm like, "Do what?" It's like, let's get back out here and get this media company started again. I'm like, "All right, sure." But I was holding on to this one. This one was just still on the back burner. I pitched it to him once. He was like, "I love it. Let's do it." I was like, "No, I'm not going to do it just yet because I haven't got all of my thoughts yet." Right? I was like, "It's not fully
Mm.
formed for me yet." So um, this is how I got here. So like, I mean, real talk, just filling out the vibe and just getting to the point where I felt like I wanted to share my inner thoughts with people again. So similar story to what you got, right? Um,
Yeah.
but your second book's coming. You said you just going with the flow right now. All right, so I'm gonna do something a little different here again. All right, so uh, what's your favorite author?
Oh, my favorite author. I never got asked that question before.
Mhm.
Oh
How's the
my
author not
goodness.
have a How's the author not have a favorite author?
I really don't.
Really?
Wow.
All
I
right.
don't think I have one.
Okay. So how about this?
I do
Something.
I do have a top one. I do have a top one.
Okay. Let's do time.
So I think it has to be my top because I've read this is like the one author that I've read like all of her books, but I would say Sarah Jakes.
Okay.
That's like my soul sister. But yeah, I love me some Sarah Jakes, and I've read all her books.
Okay. Okay. So I'm a little bit more of an old school Renaissance type guy, right? So
Okay.
I like Langston Hughes, and
Oh.
I even vibe with James Baldwin, right? Baldwin
Hmm.
has some killer writing, like you know, as an author, the dude was lit. As an activist, he's lit. As an overall human being, he was lit, right? He was before his time, I think, in a lot of aspects. Um, and then my most recent author that I've kind of become enamored with was Ibram X. Kendi, right? Mr.
Hmm.
Anti-Racist, all of the stuff like that. So, like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I was doing Kindle reading at first, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy some books. I started buying mad books um, during the pandemic. So, like, I have like books that I haven't read yet just sitting here. I'm like, damn.
Me too.
And so,
Me too.
so yeah, like if you ask me who I had to go to, who would I have to go to and read, those are the two people that I would read, or the three. But I also read Malcolm X's book, the autobiography
Mm.
of Malcolm X. But I also bought the one as it's a I don't know what you want to call it. It's one of those books where it's about him and Malcolm together. It's called The Sword and the Shield, and it's pretty
Mm.
it's pretty intense. But I haven't gotten all the way through it yet, so I got to get to the last parts of it before I can actually give a review on it. So um, I've expanded my reading horizons a lot. So that's why I wanted
I need
to.
to do that. I need to do that.
Well, the funny thing is, like I said, I got spoiled by technology, so I was always reading stuff on the Kindle. But I realized
Hmm.
I wanted to feel the pages and turn the pages now. You know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
on lunch break when I'm working from home, I'll sit out on the porch and just read and just relax for a bit, for a little bit, enjoy the weather. Like when it's nice, when it's not too hot. But
Mm.
like that's the stuff that we need to get back to, and that's the stuff that we need to get out in our community. Like so, like like just getting back to the books that you're working on, the book that you're working on right now. Um, how do you see that impacting the next generation for you though? Like, because like you're a lot younger than I am, so you're probably impacting a different generation of youth at this point. So I want to
Hmm.
see how you want that legacy to be for you.
So this book it's a poetry book. It's different from the first one because it was for women. So I feel like this book is just a collection of things that everybody can relate to, men included. And I feel like my goal for this book is to have you check yourself, like for you to read and for you to make me feel some type of way, but
Mhm.
it's going to make you think like, do I need to check some stuff within? So I'm trying to have this book have people hold themselves accountable, um, open up a window of like self awareness, um, and just really like work on themselves to
Okay,
be better.
I like that. So
Hmm.
even piggybacking off of that, when you say that though, when you're talking to people, are you imparting that wisdom as well before the book even comes out? Like how you want people to check themselves, like even looking right in your own circle. Like, are you talking to your people around you? Like, hey man, why are you doing that? Why are you not checking yourself at this point?
Yeah, yeah.
So like your friends and even your family members, like, look, man, you need to get your shit together.
Well, family not so much, but
Yeah,
I
they
don't do
don't,
it for everybody.
they don't listen though. Family don't
I
listen.
don't do, they don't listen. My friends don't listen either, but I don't do it for everybody. But my close people,
Mm,
who impact me, yes. But for the most part, I feel like I'm at the point where I'm gonna just let you do what you gotta do because I'm tired of people. I'm tired of giving advice to people when they don't listen. So I just
mm.
reached to the point where I'm gonna just pray for you. But my close people, yeah, I'm gonna definitely help you check yourself.
Right. So sometimes it's necessary to
Yes.
take yourself out of that situation and then allow them to do what they're gonna do. Um,
Hmm.
so um, that other piece for me though, I think like I'm almost tired of giving free advice, right? Like at this point, like have it has it not sinking into you that this is what you need to change? Because I'm not the only person that's telling you this. There are multiple people telling you that this is wrong, but you don't see it for yourself. So I think for me, I had to do a little bit of self evaluation as well, right? And I
Hmm.
realized that I was doing a lot of toxic things for my to my own detriment, right? So I was like, okay, I'm not a self help person. I'm not a person that's gonna tout myself as a person that's the guru to come to. But some people do confide in me for certain things, and I felt like I was given a lot more than that I was receiving. Like nobody else was
Same.
checking. Yeah, nobody was checking my energy levels. Nobody was saying, "Hey,
Hmm.
bro, you all right? You good? You need anything?" Everybody was just pouring, 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 and then I'm like, "Shit, I'm oversaturated with other people's shit at this point." um,
Yeah, I've been there. It's not a
so
good feeling.
yeah, no, it's not a good feeling at all. So um, I think that for us, as many people as we can touch that are listening, that will absorb that message, it's time for you to start figuring out what's good for you and
Hmm.
pouring into yourself, and then you can pour into others. Because if you start pouring into yourself, you're going to have a better outlook. You're going to feel a lot better, and you're not going to be carrying so much weight for everyone else. And I think that was a hard lesson for me to learn. So
Hmm.
um, I'm quite sure it was hard for you to learn too, because it's not.
Yeah, I'm definitely in that season right now where I have to like really like not shut everybody out completely, but I really need to zoom in on what I'm pouring myself with and who's pouring into me because I'm so used to being the listener and the helper and the
Mhm.
person that gives good advice, but I gotta shut that down because it depletes you after a while. And I feel like
Yeah.
I have so much going on and things that I need to work on too, so it becomes a distraction for me and what I got going on. So my focus right now is pouring into myself.
I can agree with that. So, all right. So we got the second portrait book coming, and
Hmm.
right now you're saying that you have a couple of spoken word events coming up, and you're letting them come to you. But you said you just did one. How did that go? How did the last one you did go?
It was in Virginia 2 weekends ago. It was really, really good, and it was kind of like a full circle moment for me because the day after that was like my 1 year anniversary of doing spoken word.
Mm,
So I was just in a really like good place and just really feeling happy and like accomplished.
mm,
And that was like my first feature, like technically out of state, out of like Maryland. So It was really exciting.
Okay. Okay.
Exciting.
Yeah, I saw the recordings that they put up on your page. I was like, oh, look at Epps doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's so cool to be able to, link with people that actually have those type of creative energies as well. So like I love that fact that, like you're a creative. Like I can see it when I first met you all those years back. You were a little younger and you were just like, okay, I'm in my own vibe at this point. I don't really need a lot of people to be around me. Like that's
Mhm.
what I saw, right? Um, and I was like, I value that because now I got somebody I can pour into as well. Be like, you have that energy that I had when I was your age, and I don't
Mhm.
want you to lose that fire. So just keep going, man. And
Thank
um,
you.
so I look at you and I'm like, that star is gonna keep rising. So keep going. Um,
Thank you.
so you also have to do me a huge favor. So when you have people that you meet that are just starting out in this journey, the spoken word journey, the author journey, and stuff like that, make sure you reach out and grab them and say, hey, look, there's a platform that you can come on and talk about your work. And I'm not out here trying to grab buckets of money from people. What I'm doing is try to get people to actually reach one and teach one every time. Like if there's one person that listens and grabs a message from us, I need that to happen, right? So
Yeah.
I implore you to think about, starting your own video podcast and things of that nature. So, it's something that I'm offering that olive branch to you. And Jahad, thank you for joining
Thank
tonight, sir.
you.
Appreciate you. Um, and like seriously, the main thing is I don't want any lessons that we can impart to the next generation to be lost. So we need to make these records, can create these videos, these audios. Like so, this podcast comes in video version and audio. So like, if they don't have the video capabilities, go straight to audio. Like we try to build this web of media for everyone to impart their knowledge on people. So I need that.
I
I need that
appreciate that.
commitment. I need that commitment from
I,
you.
I got you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, we're still a little early. So I asked you offline, and I asked you on the air. Now you got to share something. So I'm gonna mute myself. I'm gonna let you do your thing. And
Yeah, you didn't even give me like a warning or anything.
no. We don't do warnings. I told you, no countdowns, no warnings off the break. So I'll do this. Okay. I'll
Okay.
if you share it. Hold on. Okay, yeah. No, go ahead and share. And I'll think about sharing one before I get off. An old one from mine. How about that?
I feel like you should go first. It's your show.
What? What? Now the ladies' first anthem doesn't fit with it, right?
I
Okay,
mean,
I
it's
got it.
your show though.
I don't know. Let me see. Let me see if I can find one I like. Hold on. Let me see. But in the meantime, in between time, so tell the people how they can follow you on your social media and stuff like that.
You can follow me at A Glowing Poet on Instagram. I have a website which is linked to my Instagram, but it's called The Woman I Am Becoming. You can get into the poetry book on my website, and you can find it on my Instagram as well. That's A Glowing Poet.
Okay.
Shannon
Spell
said, "Not ladies first."
that. Hey Shane, you better chill out. Get out of the league first. Yes, that's a throwback, of course. Let me see. Man, I
Don't
got.
get nervous now.
Oh no. I'm good on my platform because it's me. It's my platform.
Okay, okay.
I, I can I can control this at this point. As a matter of fact, I'm looking through the notes, right? So remember I was
Mm-hmm.
telling you I have all these notes. There's a note in here from 2016. Try to figure out the title to my book. Hey, relax. Yes, yes, I'm showing my age a little bit. Okay. All right. Let me see. Whew. Now, whew. Okay. All right. You put me on the spot there, so I'll go ahead and do it. All right. So this one is called Lost Queens, right? So Lost
Okay.
Queens. All right. So I write this rhyme for the women who have lost their shine. I remember when they all used to say, "You were so fine." Now the words don't match the past. You were hot, but that couldn't last.
Ooh,
All based on some mistakes you made living a life that was just too fast, tarnishing the legacy of beauty queens that came before. I ain't finished that one, so that's just a part of one. I thought it was
okay.
over.
You had the little hand on your chest. You was in it. Okay.
I was feeling it a little bit, feeling it a little bit. Um, oh, hold on. It just came up. Oh, the rest of it did come up. All right.
Ooh.
All right. So living for the instant gratification of fame, glitz, glamour, and allure, acting out of spite because another brother just wouldn't act right, only to retire to your one bedroom apartment to soak in the pain and strife at night, longing for a change that feels helpless to inspire, not knowing that you possess a strength inside that burns like desire. I implore you to tap that potential and become what you were meant to be, a magnificent queen that was meant to rule for all eyes to see. I'm not dissing, just trying to help you find your way off that social media roller coaster that
Mm.
has sadly misguided you to live a life that you weren't built as a poser, life that you weren't built to live as a poser. Grab your standards back from the headlines and make the next move your best move. Boom. That's it.
Okay. That was good. That was
What's up,
good.
boss lady? What's happening? What's going on with you? So yeah, you got me on that one. Okay, all right. I like that. That was good. Um, yeah. Next time I'm gonna play a recorded version of it.
Oh wow.
I'm
Cheating,
kidding. I'm
cheating.
kidding. I'm kidding. I can't let you come up here and share nothing without me sharing. So I kind of had a feeling I was going to end up doing it anyway. I just didn't know which one I wanted to do.
Okay.
Appreciate you. Appreciate the love in the chat there, boss lady. Thank you so much. All right, you ready, Miss Amber? Let's go.
All right, I'm gonna get a little vulnerable. I'm gonna do an older piece.
Okay.
Kind of myself. I'm still getting triggered. Now I'm questioning if I'm healed. And a weird headspace got me questioning everything I feel. Scared to go to sleep because I don't know if I'll be attacked in another dream. Spiritual warfare, the devil doesn't care whether or not you're asleep. My mind doesn't rest, so I rest less. The more I pray for peace, the more I grow restless. I can only get up and keep going when my mother calls and reminds me that I was born for greatness. But damn, God, why I gotta feel lonely at the top? And how come every level I get to, there's a new roadblock? How come the closer I get to you, there's someone I lose? How come my own family don't love me like they used to? It's like I'm walking backwards from familiar faces, starting to think I'll be more comfortable in foreign places. My man is looking at me differently. It's hard to pinpoint when we got on separate pages. My friends are looking more and more like strangers. I kind of wonder what the hate would be like if I was famous. But moving on, I would be joking if I said that was my focus. I'm just trying to grow spiritually and shine like a token, be living proof that I was chosen. So when you see me, you'll know God shines through, lives through, speaks through me. But damn, God, sometimes I question why me. Like, why you love me so much but still put me in the darkest rooms? Why you let me hit rock bottom just so I would be forced to reach out to you? Why you perform miracles and allow something tragic to happen just to test my faith in you? See, people look at you and think you have it all, but don't know half the shit you go through. I love you, God, but sometimes I get tired of pushing through. One blow after another, God. I know you don't get tired, but maybe you forgot that I do. And I know all my strength comes from you. I'm just requesting a short vacation from fighting battles alongside you. And I know you said you'll fight my battles. I guess I just have to be willing to give them to you. I mean, I trust you and all, but sometimes it feels like I ain't gonna make it through. Like, what is it that you want me to do? When I said have your way, I wasn't prepared to be tested every single day, stretched and pulled from different directions. I know growth is supposed to be uncomfortable, but God, this is actually painful. It's like as you're elevating me, I'm suffocating from the downpour. The rain you're allowing is affecting my core. I'm saying, God, what makes you think I can take more? I haven't found peace in any of these storms. I'm low key drowning in sorrow. I can barely swim to shore while the weapons are being formed. I wish someone would have warned me that when you focus on growing, although there will be blessings overflowing at the same time, there will be constant attacks because the enemy hates to see you soaring. But I'm going to keep going despite what the present is showing. I'm going to stay in my Bible for coaching and keep trusting God because He is all knowing. There's something deep inside of me that was planted as a seed the day I was conceived. I just believe the pain has been watering it. And it can no longer just sit. It's sprouting out of me, and I can't lie, that shit hurts a bit. But that's the price you pay for transitioning spiritually. Everything is shifting rapidly. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going to keep going despite what the present is showing. I'm going to stay in my Bible for coaching and keep trusting God because He is all knowing. Thank you.
Woo! Woo! Man, I was over here trying to keep my eyes dry. What the hell was going on? Sister, thank you for blessing me with your beautiful words. And again, the chat is going crazy right now. We got some finger snaps in there. We got some fire. We got everybody in here. We got my boy KD Senate in here. What's up, Neef? We got Jihad in here. We got DC, Don Chambers in this joint. We got Miss Leash. Let's see, we got Boss Lady 1208. Slick has been here all night. Man, Slick,
That's my friend.
I guess you must know AMS, yo. I was like,
yes.
Your name before.
That's the homie.
Appreciate you, man. Yo, it's all love. I love it, man. So, yo, sis, listen. I mean, for such a small frame person, you have a powerful voice within you. And you're just gonna keep blessing people with those words. So keep going. Like you said, no matter what kind of obstacles are on the path, you're gonna get to the point where you're gonna just break through them, or you're gonna find a way over them, and to soar and keep doing your thing, right? Again, you got me out of my element tonight. I'll give you that. You took me back to me one night. I was at this random poetry jam, and again, I had my phone. And I just wrote something real quick, and I was like, I'm not gonna read this. I'm like, man, hold up.
You gotta come back out.
I'm gonna start going back out, man. First as a visitor, and then I'll come on stage and do something every once in a while. But I think I feel like I wanted to do like a little spoken word album type thing myself as well. So I'll work on that with my DJ. But yo, man, the love is in the chat tonight, baby. I think we are doing really well tonight. So, man, we got about 10 minutes left to keep chopping it up here. So, like real talk, I'm gonna have another transparent moment with you, right? I was so nervous the very first time I read a poem to a woman, right? And it was just one person, like it wasn't a group, it was one. She was like, you think she was like, I don't think you wrote this, read it. I was like, what? Wait, man. Like, damn.
Why were you nervous?
Because one, the words I was saying is what I really felt. And I didn't know how she was going to take it. So I handed it to her and she handed it back like, no, read it.
Read it, yes.
So probably one of the most embarrassing moments for me, like, or nervous moments that I've ever had in life was that. Because like normally I'm not nervous.
Dramatic.
No, I never really am nervous about anything. Like on job interviews and stuff like that, that's normal stuff. Like that part, I was putting my heart on the line for something. And I wrote it out. And if I got rejected, I was gonna be embarrassed, right? So that's why I was
Did you get rejected?
I'm not sharing that. I'm kidding. All right, so she said, all your words were nice. They were really nice. She's like, but I just don't see you like that. I was like, so it was probably, I want to say, was I? Shut up, producer. So I think I think I was maybe 20 or so, maybe I think.
Aw.
But it taught me a valuable lesson. It taught me a lesson to not rush into things because I think I
Mm,
was in lust versus love at that point.
love.
So I wasn't processing, the difference between the two. So that's a transparent moment. I got rejected.
Valuable lesson.
Yeah, valuable,
Valuable lesson.
very valuable.
Yes.
Mm.
Okay.
So, did you ever have any situations like that, like the boy that you wrote the poem for when you started out? Did you give it to him, or did you just write it about?
No, he didn't know. And he ended up breaking my heart when we got older.
Really? That
So
sucks.
yeah, mm,
Oh my god.
yeah,
We
I
have
know.
we have teenage heartbreak and young young adult heartbreak at the same time. That's tough.
It wasn't even teenage. I was in sixth grade. I was a little baby. I mean, granted, I didn't know what love was, but
You
he
did.
still broke my heart later in life, though.
Yeah. Now that part right there is kind of unacceptable. you broke your heart later in life after you done wrote a
I
poem to him.
know.
You done wrote a poem
I
to him
know.
in sixth grade. Oh my god,
I
this
know.
impossible. Um.
I know.
So
Don't laugh. Don't laugh.
no, I'm just mad about it because now my story doesn't seem so outlandish because I'm
Bad.
like, that was college. I had just met this woman. I thought I was in love with this woman like 6 months in. I'm,
Yeah, he broke my heart after college. So
mm,
mm,
I'm sorry.
mm.
Sorry for him. You missed out on a great person.
It is
Yeah,
for
his
sure.
loss. His loss. I'm gonna continue to do that. But I feel like the show overall needs your energy. So anytime you're free to come back, you're welcome to come back. So I'm gonna open that
Oh, thank
door for you.
you.
And like I said, even if you just want to come in and do some spoken word spots on a previous on another show for me, or if you want to do some drops for me, like some voice overs and stuff, hey man, I will talk about the logistics of that later. But you're
I
more than welcome.
appreciate that.
Lend your voice to my projects. And um, this has been a fun show for me because I feel like I shared a little bit more because most people again don't know that side. So like this is
I didn't know.
of course I didn't share all this stuff. I can't share everything. But um so I'm gonna drop some stuff in the groups. So I have a Facebook group for iLegacy Media, which is the company that handles all of my producing and stuff like that. Of course, a lot of people don't know. I got you. Yes, boss lady, I know. Um, but iLegacy Media is my media company. I'm co-owner with my partners DJ Teflon Don and Miss Amanda. We have a Facebook group, and we all have individual shows right now. But I'm going to tell you what's coming in like coming in the next couple of months. The fall is going to be lit, So we have three shows currently running, right? We have a show on Tuesdays called the Threesome Show with a host named Teflon Don, the unlicensed sex doctor. Myself on Wednesdays for the Quiet Storm, 8 o'clock. And then the third owner, she has a show called True Weight, and that happens on Thursdays at 8.
Mhm.
We have a show that's coming up called The Scandalous Show. Man, it's going to be lit. And then I'm bringing back the show called The Mars versus Venus, but it's going to be a show about, us versus each other, right? Just kind of our thoughts and
Mhm.
opinions and stuff like that. So if you want to be a guest on that, you're welcome to. Anybody in the chat is welcome
Okay.
to be a guest. So Slick, Jihad, Boss Lady Shane, of course, Neef, you know what I mean? You're definitely welcome to be a guest on the Mars versus Venus show. And I wanted to do that because it's not enough communication between the sexes at this point, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And when it does happen, it's either filtered or somebody's not being honest, right? So
Yeah.
this is a place that's going to be unfiltered, uncensored. You do what the hell you want, say what you want, and either the person is going to agree, the person is going to or disagree, but it's an open forum where you get to share your thoughts. So those are the things we got working right now. But there's a couple of other things that are happening. So you know what I mean. I think that's going to be something that is going to like take off, man. Because I want to hear everybody's opinion. Because one, people get on social media all day and spout their opinions. So why not come on a live YouTube channel and just do it?
Yeah, I like that concept.
Now we get to see if your bark matches your fight at this point. You know what I mean? Like if you're
Yeah,
over there just talking on social media, or you really about that life. Because sometimes you can type words that you can't actually say and don't like. We can see your feeling in it or your passion in it, right? So that's why I want to do it that way.
right.
Um,
I like that.
you know what I mean? So I definitely appreciate you taking time again to join me tonight, and I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope
I
you had enough fun
did.
to come back. And we appreciated your poem, and we appreciate all of the work that you're doing. Again, this is one of those things, man. I love the way that we do things here because there's no such thing as a bad idea. So, um, with that being said, do you have any parting words that you want to share with the people? Because we're about 2 minutes out before closing. Do you have anything you want to share?
Um, I just want to say thank you for thinking about me and having me on here. And yeah, follow me because I got some stuff coming up.
Of
A
course,
glowing poet.
of course. So, a glowing poet, man. We'll make sure you drop her link on. Um, we'll drop her link on Instagram. If you follow my Instagram page, she's already been on there. Her link's up there to her page. Um, her Facebook page is up. So, man, guys, make sure you check her out. And she got some good things coming. And support Black-owned business. She has a book.
Period.
Buy it. I'm not gonna lie. I need my signed copy the next time I see you, sis. That's all
I
I'm gonna
got
say.
you.
And so, with that being said, man, we are iLegacy Media. Again, you can send your ideas to us at iLegacyMedia3 at gmail.com. That's our email address. So if you have any thoughts you want to get out, this is to the fan base. I'm sorry. If you have any thoughts you want to get out, any ideas you want to run past us, if you want to do advertising, remember, advertising doesn't cost a lot. All we ask is for a small donation. This is where we are. And you can write an email to us, and we'll tell you how you can donate your funds and how that's going to work for you. So we also have merchandise coming out. Yes, we have merchandise. As you can see, my Quiet Storm shirt. I have two of them. One's gray. This one's the other. This is the secondary logo, actually. The first one is the black one. But our Legacy Media 3, reach out to us, man. We're gonna chop it up. If you want to be a guest on either one of the shows, any of the shows that we got coming up, let us know, man. Like let's build this conglomerate where we don't have to go to corporate America to get the money to do it. Let's do it from the grassroots era. So with that being said, man, I am again Mr. Q and my guest, Miss Embry Bowman. Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
Ams, I love you. I'll see you soon.
Love you too.
And again, we have a website. I just want to forget that. iLegacyMedia.com. There we go. And with that being said, it's been my time. It's been my pleasure to enjoy the words and enjoy the group chat has been going lit. Anyway, I'm not gonna acknowledge that part yet. But we are our Legacy Media, and we only have one direction that we can go from here, guys, and that's all the way up, baby. So, producer, go ahead, close me out, baby. Good night.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up.